Yes! Ferrari's on pole to kick it off! Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Yes! In the paddock F1, Greeny and the Cheese. Yes, we are in the kingdom of Bahrain, known as the Island of Pearls for its pearl farming industry, and also known for its grove of date palm trees. Michael, do you like dates?
I actually don't mind dates.
Well, there you go. But this isn't no geography travel show. No. This is an F1 show. And we are 11 miles from the capital city of Bahrain, Manama, on an old camel farm. That's right. We are at the Bahrain International Circuit, 3.36 miles, 3 DRS zones. You give it the full beans for 74% of your lap. And that's right again, Ferrari's on pole. Let's state that again to kick it off here in 2022. Haas is in the top 10. The McLaren looks like trash. Bottas out-qualifies a Merc, starts next to his teammate tomorrow. Oh, the storylines to kick it off here. Max is second. We're caffeinated. We're medicated. Greeny. Good evening, sir.
Hickory dickory dock. Haas is on the clock. K-Mag is here. The points I hear. And Gunter just don't give a flock. Hickory dickory dock. George Russell, you're on the clock. Bottas, you're behind. Pay Lewis no mind. And tell Toto where he can drop. Oh, hickory dickory dock. Yuki, you're on the clock. You poop like a bear. Q1, you're stuck there. And Yuki, you just kind of suck. Yuki sucks, dude. You see practice?
Wow.
That's a mess out there.
That's a bold statement right there, sir.
I don't talk smack about the drivers, but
that's bold.
But that was an absolute embarrassment. Greedy and the Cheese in the paddock. F1, we are back. What an introduction as well. That felt great, Cheese, because all I've had from you for the last 3.5 months was sound clips and sound bites. So on the cheese board I'm coming up with here. So in the middle of the night, when I was thinking of Ferrari and thinking of what the first race might be, and
yes, I hate you so much.
But I didn't have it for real until now. I didn't have it for real. Now it's back. It's back. My soundboard is back. It's 2022. We are for real. This is not testing. This is the real deal. We have an extravaganza this evening. We got a lot to talk about. We have, besides qualifying to talk about, which was unbelievable. I mean, how many storylines came out of this afternoon? And as well, we have our bets for the year, for the 2022 season. We have top 5 drivers. We have our top 10 constructors. We're going to go through all 10 of those. We're also going to go through, what we're also going to go through, prop bets, just like we had last season. We're going to have 10 prop bets that I have for Cheese. We're going to see how he does with those. I think you were 9 out of 10 last year. 9 out of 10?
That sounds about right.
So that's...
that sounds right.
Let's see if you can match or better that for this year. So we're going to have those questions as well as
10 out of 10 is pretty rough.
Match or better. It's a high standard you set for yourself last season.
9 out of 10 was pretty ridiculous too. So.
It's pretty ridiculous. That was excellent work. Maybe my questions were too easy, potentially, but we'll see what I have come up with this season. And of course, we have Greeny Bucks 2022. The final score last year was you had 2,000, and I had let me see here if I can remember. I had 0.
That's right.
0 left. That's right. And it says here in the liner notes, 2,000 to 0. So I was absolutely pathetic. Absolutely
Yeah.
pathetic.
Yeah, you were.
And
I'm not going to deny that.
no, it was. And
Embarrassment is.
so with that, I'm gonna, I slapped myself, deservedly so.
It was so bad. You're lucky they gave you a pass to get back into Greentopia. That's how bad it was.
Well, enough of that. We will get to that later. We'll get to all the greedy bucks and our bets for the year later. But first, qualifying.
Ferrari's on
cheese.
pole. Ferrari's on pole. There's no need to discuss anything else. Ferrari's on pole. A 1-3. Definitely looking like a solid title contender. Is the Scuderia right now. I think he maybe even a little ticket ahead of the Red Bull. Ferrari's fast. What else do you need to know? Ferrari's fast. McLaren looks like trash. Super poor performance from McLaren today. Mercedes looks in trouble, although they got a little handle on the porpoising, but they still don't have it. A lot of work to do with that car, which has got to make Toto Wolff absolutely fuming. And your boys Haas, the big surprise. With K-Mag getting in the top 10, getting to Q3. I mean, you must have been running up and down the street doing handsprings when you saw that happen.
I was a little shocked. It was a little bit, listen, 2019 was the last time, I think Brazil 2019 was the last time Haas even made a Q3. So just to be out there, just to be not just automatically eliminated in Q1 every single time is definitely a step up and a step in the right direction, but definitely surprising. A Q7, I definitely was hoping for, somewhere between 11 to 14. Hopefully beating out Alfa Romeo, which was a whole other story today. Holy mother of moly. And it was just unbelievable. As well as Aston Martin. Hello. And Nico Hulkenberg not in a F1 car for 16 months and beats out Lance Stroll. Hello. That's a pretty big storyline there. So a lot of storylines, as well as the third row tomorrow. As of now, who knows if anything's going to be dished out, any penalties or anything else that might happen. But as of right now, the third row is very interesting. It's a very interesting third row.
With Valtteri and Hamilton side by side, old teammates.
I mean,
you gotta love you absolutely had to love it. I mean, that's definitely what you wanted to see. Even if he could even gotten front, even the spot in front of Lewis and had that like fifth instead of the sixth, that would have just been funny as all hell for him to get the boot out. But he did beat out George, his replacement. I'm going to say is the Ferrari power plant looks phenomenal because anybody that had a Ferrari power plant today was pretty darn quick. I mean, Haas had K-Mag in the top 10. You had what? Mick was 12th or 13th. You had Bottas in the top 10. That's another Ferrari power plant.
Very impressive.
I mean, Zhao, you can't really go off of anything because, it's just first race weekend of his career. So it's
getting into Q2 first race weekend in what people thought was an inferior vehicle is pretty impressive for the rookie. That's an impressive day for the rookie. We'll see how he finishes tomorrow.
Another Ferrari power plant. The top, the bottom 4 cars What power plant are they today? That's the Mercedes. Bottom 4 cars have Mercedes power plant.
Yeah, very interesting.
That's a little concerning if you're anybody who's got a Mercedes.
Very interesting. I mean, Aston Martin bid it today. They really bid it, and Mercedes bid it too.
Well, yeah, you pretty much
Tell
knew
me
they weren't going to be. You knew they weren't going to be any top contender after watching everything from testing. I mean, they finally just got the porpoising under control at the end of free practice 3. So they got a ways to go with that car. They got a ways to go. You knew they weren't going to be. I knew they weren't going to be up there. You could just tell. You could just tell the way the car's handling. They're having all kinds of issues. I mean, the brakes were basically the one brake was basically overheating, which is probably why Lewis is getting that pulling he was saying from the right brake side. The brake was probably overheating, so the one was grabbing more than the other. They just have handling issues. The car does not look settled. It looks twitchy as all heck compared to like the Ferrari or the Red Bull, which look very settled, very under control, going through low speed or high speed corners. The Ferrari has an advantage, it seems, out of the low speed corners. It looks like they're getting anybody with a Ferrari power plant looks like they're getting way more traction out of the low speed corners, which is, giving them an advantage. Mercedes just looks like they're in trouble everywhere. The car is just not there. It's not settled. It's not easy to drive. It's very unsettled. Very unsettled. A lot of work to do there. A lot of work to do.
Listen, my final thoughts here, and we're going to move on, but my final thoughts for qualifying, especially when it comes to George Russell, he finished 9th or 10th 6 times last year in the Williams. You're telling me he's not any better in the Mercedes? And that's not surprising? Yeah, he should have been in the top 3 rows. George Russell.
The Williams didn't look very good today either. So,
well, I mean, would have looked a little bit better if that was George Russell right in that Williams. But I don't know. At least Albon made it to Q2.
Yeah.
Williams. But overall, wacky day. It's going to be a crazy first 3 rows. The number 1 Ferrari driver outpaced the number 1 Red Bull driver. The number 2 Ferrari driver outpaced the number 2 Red Bull driver. It is on like Donkey Kong. Adjustments will be coming even to next week. Cars will be adjusted. We'll see if Mercedes has got what it takes, but it looks like a 3-horse race with McLaren on the outside looking in. Not a position they thought they were going to be in. Greeny and the Cheese in the Paddock F1. Back after this. Yes, we are back. Greeny and the Cheese in the Paddock F1. It's Saturday night, and we are ready to rock and roll because we are starting and beginning the 2022 season after what feels like an eternity off. And with the beginning of the 2022 season comes, that's right, our bets. We got a lot to bet on. We got a lot to gamble on. Besides Greedy Bucks, we do a annual betting, which is I'm sorry. First, we're going to take a look at the constructors. We're going to go through our top 10 constructors, top to bottom. If I had a crystal ball, I can probably tell a lot of what Cheese was going to pick. Anything away. After today, no Homer, of course.
No, of course not. Not at all.
But you want to start with 10 and go to 1?
I was going to say we'll go from bottom to top. You just want me to rattle off my 10?
No, let's start. Give me your number 10, and I'll give you my number 10.
Williams.
All right, I agree. Williams. Next.
Alfa Romeo.
I disagree. I got Alfa Romeo 8. I got Aston Martin 9. They look like such trash.
I got the reverse. I have Aston Martin at 8.
All right. Not too many arguments there. I mean, I don't think that's a massive difference. So who do you have at 7 then?
I have Haas at 7.
As do I, sir. You've come to the light.
They have looked impressive. The car looks settled. It has a lot of similarities to the Ferrari. When you kind of look at the car, it has a lot of similarities to the Ferrari design. So, I mean, they spent the Mazepin's money well. That's all I got to say. Not developing their at all last year and putting everything towards this year's car. It's been impressive so far. We'll see about reliability, but from what I've seen, I'm gonna give them the 7.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely gonna get some points this year.
I agree. Definitely might get more points tomorrow than they have all last season. So very, very excited for that. We'll see what happens.
You must be ecstatic.
I'm trepidatious. I'm obviously ecstatic that we're not just coming in, losing out Q1 and it's a joke and you're trailing a second and a half to 2.5 seconds per lap. So at least they'll be competitive. At least it's turned back the clock to, the days of Romain Grosjean. But yeah, it's exciting.
They brought back K-Mag, so
it's exciting. It's exciting. And K-Mag looks better than he did 3 years ago with Haas. So it's exciting. It's exciting. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously you want to see improvement, and this is definitely an improvement already. So it's exciting. I mean, but you can't start any lower than no points for the entire season. So it's so bad.
Only way you can go is up, sir.
Only way you can go is up when you're at the bottom of the barrel. So here we go. Number 6. Who you got?
I have AlphaTauri.
Yeah, I agree. I
do not trust Yuki Tsunoda. That's pretty much what I got there. I have Alpine 5. I trust Ocon more than I trust Tsunoda. And you can basically say, Fernando and Pierre can be like a wash almost, but who do you trust scoring more points? I trust Ocon over Tsunoda. So that's basically why I have that. Why I have them for that reason right there.
Yeah, like I said in the intro, Yuki was like, how do I say? I mean, he was so bad in practice.
You said trash is what you said. So you said garbage trash. So you really went to town there. We're pretty harsh there in the opening. So we all know your thoughts on that.
I said it because of most of his points came at the beginning of the season last year. He was strong at the beginning of the season, and kind of the last 15 races now, I mean, he's been no good. Plus all the red flags last year, plus everything that happened just in practice. If you watched practices so far, or just Bahrain practice, he was in people's way. He was not in his racing line. It's kind of an amateur show a little bit, and he's showing his age. And he started off maybe at a deeper concentration, and he was in a different place this time last year because he scored points, I believe, last year at Bahrain. So, and this year he can't even get out of Q1 in the same track in potentially a slightly better car. So it's interesting. It's interesting, but we'll see what happens. But I think AlphaTauri, I think he'll still score some points, but I would have put an AlphaTauri a little higher if it wasn't for Yuki's troubles. I think
Who do you have 5? I agree 100%.
5, I have McLaren at 5.
Oh.
I have McLaren at 5.
Oh.
And I actually had
Ooh.
McLaren at 5 before watching qualifying today. I made some adjustments after qualifying today, but not many. And McLaren's been 5. And I'm assuming you have Alpine 5, but I'll let you
Yes, I
speak for
did.
yourself. All right, so you have
Yes, I
Alpine
did.
5. I have McLaren 5. I think they've lost a step. I think there's something rotten in the waters there at McLaren, and I don't know what's going on, but between McLaren and Mercedes, there's something going on, and I don't know what it is. And hopefully, or maybe they can vet it out as the season goes on, but definitely not a good start for either of those teams. And there's a lot of resistance and a lot of good driving and a lot of more experience. We see a much more solid field from year over year, from 21 to 22, with a lot of the drivers sticking together and being more cohesive and working with their engineers and their team, becoming more of a team and more of a family. That's a big part of this. That's a big part of this. Those of you who watch Drive to Survive, you know, that team and that element of everyone working together and working as a cohesive unit. So having a lot of teams with the same drivers, you know, of last year, Ferrari, Red Bull, Alpine, McLaren, AlphaTauri, you know, Aston Martin, you know, all those teams with the two drivers coming back and very solid, similar teams. Um, a lot of competition out there, a lot of competition, and I think McLaren's in trouble. And I think Alpine's taking big steps forward. I think Fernando Alonso, the ageless Fernando, who I'm going to skip ahead and I'm going to tell you that I have Alpine in 4th. So I'm assuming you have McLaren 4,
Yes.
Alpine 5,
Yes.
and I have the
Yes.
opposite. Okay. Very interesting. We'll see how that all pans out. Any comments about both Alpine and McLaren that have you putting them in the places they do?
Well, right now McLaren looks like trash, but it's an older team. It's an old classic team. They'll get their stuff together and figure some stuff out. I mean, they definitely Danny missing all of the second preseason testing definitely set him back on the back foot, and then you throw in the water leak that set him back further. So you weren't expecting a lot there to begin with going in. Lando did throw it. I think it was Q1. He was in the top 10 there for, I think he had a 6th or 7th quickest time. So there is something there. They're definitely not on the realm of Ferrari, Red Bull, or even they're not even to the Merc right now. They also have the Merc power plant. That looks like it's definitely not the power plant that it has been in the past currently. Looks like there's a little bit of a step back there. So that could be something with it. But I mean, there's work to do. I think they'll get it. Alpine has definitely looked more impressive since the second testing than they did the first. The first testing was an absolute disaster for them. So let's not get totally. And then, when the side pod exploded on FP1, when they brought out their new side pods and the thing exploded on the first couple laps, that's definitely not something that is going to make you think it's very positive, or the little bit of reliability issue I can see there, or something like that just happening that quick. So that's why I have the two where they're at. But McLaren definitely doesn't look like they would be. Definitely not where they thought they were going to be.
No, should be interesting. So those are the bottom 7. So it looks like we both, or there's only 3 teams left. We both have Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. Why don't you give us your top 3?
I have Mercedes 3, Red Bull 2,
Oh,
and I have the Scuderia bringing
wow.
the Constructors Championship back to where it belongs in Maranello.
How
Yeah, that's
long
right.
have you wanted to say that into a microphone?
For a goddamn long time. Quite a many moons, sir. Quite a many moons have come and went. Quite a many
Wow.
moons. But I'm saying it. They have looked super smooth, fast. Car looks settled. It's good out of the low speed corners. And they have a very, very good driver tandem. Very good driver tandem. Sainz has definitely taken a step up. Leclerc's even taken a step up. That's probably one of the best driving pairs in all of Formula One, to be honest. And they have the car, it appears to be underneath them without really any upgrades, unlike everybody else who's been throwing upgrades left and right at their car. Ferrari hasn't done a darn thing with any upgrades or anything. So that's even impressive. Everybody else has brought some kind of upgrade on their car. Ferrari has brought nothing. Not one yet. Which can serve them well down the road when everybody else has spent their allotted funds for their upgrades. That's why you can't just keep throwing upgrades at the cars this year, because there is a spending cap.
There is.
If you're not spending the money right off the bat when everybody else is throwing upgrades left and right on their car, guess what happens later in the season? You're going to have money to spend and upgrades to put on the car. Most impressive. That's why I have Ferrari 1.
Very interesting. I have Mercedes number 3 as well, but I do disagree at the top. I have Red Bull number 1 and Ferrari number 2. I had Ferrari 3, but forever, because I just didn't believe Mercedes was going to come out and lay an egg. But they did. George Russell was not impressive today.
Well,
we'll see what happens tomorrow. The car is not impressive. The side pod situation was not impressive. And the porpoising situation was definitely not impressive. Whatever they were trying to do didn't work because their engine performance is not where it should be. And listen, there were some fast cars out on the track today. They were all beating last year's times. I'm sure going into the race tomorrow, we're going to see, probably the fastest lap time we've ever seen during a race at Bahrain. These cars are faster. They're a second faster per lap. You don't think so?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Definitely not. What was the pole time last year?
I don't know. I saw it before. Thought it was a 131. Wasn't it a 131?
Max Verstappen pole time last year was a 128.997.
All right, so I'm dead wrong.
Flat out dead wrong.
So I'll shut up now. So the 130 was not as impressive.
No.
So I'm dead wrong.
The cars are definitely not going to be faster. This is the first year with this massive regulation change. The cars do not look like they're in rails like they did last year. They look way more difficult to drive. Give it in a couple years, possibly. Probably be at those times, if not faster. But there's going to be time to get these cars evolved from where they are. This is like stage A. You get to 3 years from now, you could be on stage H, on where these cars development is gone. So they're definitely not going to be quicker. They're not as stable through the low speed corners. They definitely look to be a lot more, how would you put it, sluggish through the low speed corners. So there's definitely a little bit of a handling change there with the different downforces that the cars are now producing. But they're a little bit quicker and have better handling through the high speed corners. So it's a give and take, but it's going to take time for these cars to be developed to get to those speeds. Plus, they wanted the cars to be slowed down a little bit, and they took away a little bit of it they want better racing. So this is what the changes are also about, to give better overall racing, more more overtaking, which is what we all want to see. We want to see people going at it. And they change the tire differences or so that they can push flat out for not have to be managing as much. So we'll see. We'll see how it all pans out, but right now they're definitely not going to be as quick.
I'm going to clean the egg off my face. I was dead wrong about that one. You're right. I'm wrong. And that's all we got to say about that.
That's cheese 1, greenie 0.
Do you want to give your picks?
Wait.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead and insult me again. It's fine.
I was just going to say,
go. Come on.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
All right. That's fine. It's acceptable. So do you want to give your picks for tomorrow now? Or do you want to wait till we come back?
Oh, we got to tease it a little bit more. We got to welcome everybody back to the fantasy island of Greentopia, sir.
All right, so we will do that when we get back. We also have top 5 drivers that we're going to go over our predictions for the year, as well as I got a whole bunch of prop bets. So we're going to have a big, robust final segment coming up. Greenie and the Cheese in the Paddock F1. We're back after this.
Yes, welcome back, Greenie and the Cheese in the Paddock F1. Oh, that's right, boys and girls. Let's get on that fantasy boat. Take that ride to that fabulous island of Greentopia. Fantasyland. Where the beer flows like wine, the wine flows like beer, and cannabis grows as far as the eye can see. Ah, yes. And you head to that casino, and when you get in there, it's just like Vegas, baby. No windows, no clocks. You get lost in there. But that's where you gamble on the only thing the Greentopia currency is allowed to be gambled on, and that is Formula One racing, boys and girls.
It's a wild place.
It's a wild place.
It's a wild place.
We're coming back for season 2 of Greenie Bucks. Increased funds this year. Hopefully Greenie will not run out like he did last year.
Yes,
Maybe he'll put on a little bit of showing.
Well, Greentopia put in a petition to join NATO. So with that, our funding has been increased to 5,000 Greenie Bucks each. It says 10,000 Greenie Bucks to split. Or, in other words, 5,000 Greenie Bucks for me to lose. Or potentially double. Or triple. But,
yeah, we all, after last year, we just hope you do better than last year. And hopefully end with some money. And not be broke.
I think I might actually have a chance of beating you this year.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, I agree with that right there.
Sorry. I wanted to use that soundbite there. But yeah, no, I actually do. It's a clean slate. We're going to start all over again, and 5,000 Greenie Bucks a piece. So away we go. We're doing the same thing we did last year. We're going to pick a winner. We're going to pick a trifecta where we finish 1, 2, 3. And we are going to pick the biggest place gainer throughout. So you start 20th and you finish 10th. You gain 10. If you are the biggest gainer, not between the both of us, but within the whole race. So you have to be the biggest gainer of the day to get the points. So conceivably, we could both pick 2 different drivers and lose all 3 categories. So we're not going against each other. We are going against the board. And once again, away we go. Winners pick first. So that is you, sir. So,
I was gonna say second place finisher can go first this year.
All right. Let me go with the biggest gainer then. And okay. This was a tough one. This is a tough one for where they fell, but I'm gonna go with the man who was a unfortunate star of the last race of last season. That is Nicholas Latifi, the unfortunate son. Um, I think he could pick up 6 spots. I think Williams
Wow.
might be trash, but I think Latifi, I'm going to go out on a limb there. He is starting in 20th, so it does give me the best odds. It is a tough field, so I couldn't figure out. It gives me hope, a little bit of hope that Alex Albon finished 14th, so Williams isn't complete trash. So that's my pick for biggest gainer, Latifi.
And how many greenie bucks?
I'm not very confident. Let's go 50 greenie bucks. 1/100th of my stack. Start light. Now I got 99% of my stack left to blow.
Oh gosh. All right. I am also going to go with 50 greenie bucks.
All right.
And I'm going to take Danny. Just look bad today. Bad. Usually when Danny comes out looking bad in qualifying, he usually comes out a little mad and hungry in the race. Little strategy. I can see him picking up, 6, 7 spots or something like that. Lando did have the car in Q1, I think, 6th or 7th. There was a little speed in there. Over the race, he gets a little bit more used to the car. He's a veteran driver. I'll take Danny. 50 greenie bucks.
All right. So that is our first bet of the 2022 season. Let's go with winner next because we're going to give it away in the trifecta. So I'm going to go with the champ, whether you call him the paper champ or whether you call him the accidental champ or Michael Massey's champ. But I think Max Verstappen has a lot to prove, a lot more to prove than Charles Leclerc does. So I'm going to go with Max Verstappen for the win, and I'm going to go with 100 greenie bucks on Max Verstappen.
Okay. I am also going to take 100 greenie bucks. And let the homer picks continue. I'm taking Charles Leclerc.
Of course you are.
I'm taking Charles Leclerc. Yes, the car who has started second has won, I believe, a pretty nice chunk of races at Bahrain. I'm going to take the Ferrari. I think over long lap pace, Ferraris look good all preseason. On runs all weekend, they've looked just solid. And Max is going to be sandwiched between 2 Ferraris. But I'm going to take Leclerc to win the race. Get out front.
And how much? 100, right?
I'm taking one. I'm matching you right now. 100.
All right.
Greenie bucks. Since these are actually more civilized bets here to start from you this year. I'm very pleased to see.
It's early. It's early.
It's early yet, yes. It is early days. But you've come back down to planet Earth instead of planet lunacy. Or as they say in Spaceballs, ludicrous speed is where you're on.
Ludicrous speed. All right, you ready for the...
So bring us to the trifecta. Who do you got, sir?
I have Max 1, as I just said. Yep. Charles Leclerc 2. Okay. Carlos Sainz 3. 50 greenie bucks.
Okay. 50 greenie bucks. Okay. I am also matching you with the 50 greenie bucks. Mine is only different by position. I have Leclerc 1, Max 2, and Carlos in third. Trifecta. Leclerc, Max, Sainz. Put your money on it. Let's win some cash.
Well, at least you didn't
Because
go.
you want to know why? You want to know why we do this segment? Do you really want to know why we do this segment?
I'd love to know why.
You really know why we do this segment. Because if there's no action, there's no juice, baby. Gotta have a little action to get that juice.
You do need the action for the juice. So, yeah. A little go-go juice. Here we go. The picks are in. Now let's get some more picks in because we have our top 5 drivers. I think you hopefully got it written down over there. That's not for this race,
have it written down.
But for the season, for the 2022
Yes.
season,
I do
top
have it written
5.
down.
Let's go backwards again. Let's start with number 5. You want to go first? Want me to go first?
I have Sergio Perez.
All right. I have Lewis Hamilton, number 5.
All right, so we'll go 4. I have Lewis Hamilton in 4th.
All right. I have Carlos Sainz in 4th. I know you don't like that. I'm assuming you have Sainz in 3rd.
I do, in fact, have Carlos Sainz in 3rd.
Not to be a spoiler there. And I have Sergio Perez in 3rd.
And I was just going to say, and who do you have? Checo?
So right now, 3rd, 4th, 5th, I have Sergio in 3rd, Carlos Sainz in 4th, and Lewis in 5th, which means you have, so you have Sainz in 3rd, Hamilton 4th, Perez 5th. So we have completely different picks there. Interesting. So that leaves us to the top 2. There's only 2 men left. They're on the front row. Who are you taking to win the 2022 season? Is it Max Verstappen? Is it Charles Leclerc? Or is it a wild card?
You know who exactly you know who I'm taking. Let the Homer picks continue. Let them continue. Ring that bell. Ring that bell in Maranello. Ring that bell, baby. Give me Charles Leclerc. Bring that title, that driver's championship back to Ferrari.
Wow.
Let's do it. Let's do it. And I have Max 2nd. Let's do it.
Well, I got the Red Bull romp continuing because I have Max number 1, Leclerc 2. So that's Max 1, Leclerc 2, Perez 3, Sainz 4, Lewis 5. You have Leclerc 1, Max 2, Sainz 3, Hamilton 4, Perez 5. Lock it up, put it in the book. We will discuss it again after Christmas. We got one more.
That's a long time.
Well, it's the end of the season. It's the only one we're gonna know when who finishes when.
It's a long season.
Speaking of which, and locking it up, I got 10 more questions for you.
All right.
You need a breather, or are you ready to roll?
No, man. I know how it is in Vegas. No windows, no clocks. Let's keep going all night.
All right. You have as much time as you want. This isn't this isn't life in the fast lane. I'm not giving you 3 minutes. As much time as you want.
No, that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Right now, I'm going to give you 10 questions. You think I'm locking it up, we'll put it in the vault. Are you ready?
Are you making bets? Are you also betting on these as well, sir?
I am the questionnaire, right? So I am taking my bets.
So that would be a no.
That I'm going to take the opposite of whatever you take, right? So I am betting that I can outsmart you, and you'll only get 4 of the 10 correct for the season.
Wow.
So if that is the
only
case,
4.
That is the case. And I get 6, then I will.
So I only got to get 5 here. Coming off a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
You got to get 6 to win. You got 9 last year. That was excellent. You got to get 6 to win.
All right.
I've learned some lessons as well. Let's see how it goes. Whenever you're ready, sir,
Fire away.
may we begin. Question number 1. Who will have more points in the 2022 season? What driver? George Russell or Sergio Perez? Based on today, that's an easy one.
Sergio Perez.
And based on your top 5 there, it's a pretty easy one too, as you have Sergio Perez. All right. Next question. Ferrari total wins for the 2022 season. It's a big number because we're expecting a lot from Ferrari this year. 9.5 over under. 9.5 over under. Ferrari wins. Will it be the bells all summer long?
Damn. 9.5. I think it's going to be a very competitive year once we get down in the seasons. That's the math is computing in my head.
23 races. 9.5. It's not half of them.
It's close though.
You could still win 9 to 10 races and not win the drivers' championship either.
I'm gonna take over.
So I take the over.
We're going full in Homer. Let's go
Homer.
for it. Go all in. Just go all in. All in on the red team.
All right, all on the red team. So I could probably. I think I only have one more Ferrari question for you. So.
If this was roulette, put all that cash on the red.
All on the red. All right, here we go. Another driver challenge, 1-on-1. More points in the 2022 season. Lando Norris or Pierre Gasly? We'll finish with more points.
Lando
Norris. Question number 4. Mercedes podiums. Over under 9.5. Podiums.
You got a little hard this year.
Put
a little work in. Trying to win something for a change, huh?
You romped me last year. You romped me. 9 out of 10. I was trying to stump you. I couldn't stump you on anything.
9.5. Over.
Next question. Fernando Alonso or Danny Ricciardo? Who will have more points in 2022?
Fernando.
Going with Alonso. Next question. Charles Leclerc or Max Verstappen? Who will have more wins in 2022?
Oh, let's just keep Homer going, Leclerc.
Let's keep it going. It's going to be close.
Well, where I have him finishing, he better gosh darn have more wins. So let's just put it that way.
Which constructor will finish higher, Haas or Alfa Romeo?
Well, from their standings there, I already had Haas there, so I'm going to take Haas.
So you keep with Haas. Speaking of Haas, once again,
that's a ludicrous question since we already went over that crap.
Well, I got it on the board here.
Throw that junk out. You're going to come up with a better question than that. That's trashed. Get out of here with that. That's
all right.
Crumple that up and throw it in the garbage.
All right. More points for the season. Kevin Magnussen or Lance Stroll?
Kevin Magnuson.
There you go. Number 9. Total Max Verstappen wins. 9.5. Over under.
Oh, you and this 9.5 goddamn number.
It's the Vegas number this year. What do you want me to do?
Under.
Under. Ooh.
He can get 9 wins.
Both picks.
Still win that.
Last question. Same question again. Will it happen 3 years in a row? Will Toto Wolff drop an F-bomb on live TV for a 3rd straight year?
Absolutely 100% yes.
100% yes. Keep the streak going.
He's 2 for 2, so why not? Keep it going.
He did a fabulous job, 2 for 2. I could have put that on the board previously there, but excellent. Glad I can come up with slightly more difficult questions for you. We'll see what happens.
I think you should actually have to pick these questions as well, without just taking the opposite, and see what you actually think.
No, that's okay.
No, that's okay. Crawl under the rock and hide, I see.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe next time. Actually, it won't be fair next time. We'll see how it happens next year. Maybe you'll come up with some questions for me next year. We'll see. But anyway, as this program gets into the hour mark here, I think we're gonna say what we're gonna say here.
Oh, it's gonna be boss race to kick it off tomorrow. Let's see that red car win. That's what I'm saying. See that red car.
There we go. We'll be back in like less than 18 hours with another episode of In the Paddock F1 with Green Cheese. Remember, if you want to connect with us on Twitter, In the Paddock USA, and on email, in the paddock USA gmail.com. So hit us up, come find us, and tell your friends. Tell all your friends, tell your family.
Tell your friends.
And come support Greenie and the Cheese and In the Paddock F1. And so we can keep bringing you more shows and have some more fun. Thank you to all the listeners. It's really been absolutely amazing. We've had more listeners over the last couple of weeks here than we had, chunks of last season. So it's really been wonderful. It's been a great, encouraging preseason for us. We put a lot of work in, and hopefully we can bring you guys an excellent, excellent 2022 season. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Stay medicated, my friends.
Peace.